Many people find it difficult to refuse when they are asked for help, some action, or participation in something. Sometimes they ask you to go for a walk, go to the movie, or help with something, or just want to chat on the phone. It will not be difficult for you to do this. At least now you can get dressed, go outside and walk without a goal for a whole day. But do you really need it? Or is it really necessary for the one who calls you for a walk? Most often, the answer to this question is no. We do a lot of things unconsciously. Towards the end of our lives, we notice that for decades we have been engaged in things whose importance tends to zero, leaving the most important things for later. Remember, if you can do something, this doesn't mean that it's necessary to do it. In this video, I will tell you why and how to learn to say no. Allow yourself to deny someone. I'm convinced that people have an innate instinct to help others. But our brains, constrained by our beliefs, sometimes turn our help into harm. By helping others, we often only make things worse, even though we have been asked for help. Those people who cannot refuse to help others mistakenly believe that it will be worse without the help. It's not always there. And this is the first way to learn to refuse. If you help your son with his homework once, he will thank you. If you help 3 times, he will notice a pattern. Then he will demand your help, considering it your duty. How effective will his training then be? An overly caring mother will not even notice how with her help she will ruin her son's entire education. Accept the truth that not everything we do has the expected consequences. Sometimes, by refusing help, we allow a person to develop on our own. Set personal boundaries. People think that if they can help in something or spend time with someone, then they should agree. Otherwise, a feeling of shame arises. But when there are good reasons for refusal, we are not ashamed of it. For example, a friend called you to a cafe, but today you are leaving for a business meeting in another city. In this case, it will be very easy to refuse, and the refusal will not cause negative emotions. Personal boundaries are, in essence, your inner priorities. It's a scale of importance that's embedded in your head. When you clearly know what is important to you and what is not, you can easily filter out unnecessary things. Established priorities allow you not to feel ashamed of rejection. Let me give you a very simple example. If you are neutral about the use of alcohol, then it's not at all difficult to invite drunkards to the company. If your friend is in such company and calls you, you will most likely agree. And if you clearly know that you don't drink alcohol and are not friends people who drink alcohol, then it will be almost impossible to get you to such a company. Even refusing a close friend will not be difficult for you, it's just a matter of priorities. If it's important for you to be alone every night for 2 hours, then if someone calls you to go shopping, it will be easy for you to refuse, even if someone really needs your company. In short, priorities. Success. Many people don't understand who successful people are. A successful person knows how to manage his time and doesn't waste it. He clearly knows what is important and what is not. If he goes for a walk with someone, then this person is important to him. On the rest, he simply doesn't waste his time. Successful person know how to refuse. When they were offered a smoke as a child, they refused. They have an inner core. 30 years later, they offer to sell their company and they refuse again. The ability to refuse is the key to success. Practice denying yourself. First of all, you need to understand that it's much more difficult for people to refuse than to yourself. First, you need to talk to yourself and figure out what to give up and what to take. The practice of self-denial is something that losers neglect. Losing weight, for example, is very simple. It's enough just to deny yourself a sweet bun before bed. But for many, this rejection is so difficult. that they are ready to suffer from excess weight. What can we say about the edges of the external environment and personal growth? The ability to say no starts from the inside. Deny yourself that which is of light importance to you and replace it with something that is useful to you. Having learned this, you can easily project this behavior into communication with others. Respect. Only those who have nothing to do doesn't refuse everything. Find yourself a job, or better, a lot of things to do. You will find that you have no time to entertain other people and their whims. You will begin to feel how others have begun to respect your time. You will only be bothered about the most important matters, and only the most difficult life questions will be asked. People will begin to appear in your life who, just like you, respect their time and the time of other people. They are usually very successful people. In general, respect your environment, yourself, and your time. Now about how to refuse or think others aren't offended. I will think about it, or I don't know yet if I will be free at this time. These words will make your interlocutor think for himself. Does he need it? And also, this phrase will temporarily relieve you of responsibility for refusal. Use these phrases when you are busy or not ready to give up at the moment. Use these phrases as often as possible, and each time it will be easier for you to refuse others. Start off with a thank you or compliment. For example, I'm very pleased that you trust me so much and ask me to look after your child. After all, you don't even trust your close friend. But unfortunately, I cannot help you today. Thank you for your trust. This approach smooths out your rejection and even strengthens the relationship of trust between us. After all, you voiced that there is trust between us. Be sure of your rejection. Worst of all, this is when a person doesn't understand whether he was refused or flirted with. No should clearly mean no. If the asker continues to convince you, then you haven't yet learned to refuse so that others understand it. Never regret being turned down. What you have already done cannot be undone. And don't let them bother you anymore. Unnecessary people will live your life by themselves. And those who respect other people's time and energy will always be able to understand you. That's all. In this video we have discussed with you all about rejection. I hope you enjoyed it. Good luck.